So, like I said, yesterday we might have an opportunity today, like another opportunity to open up a short, and you can see we came pretty close. But with that said, we're also people who have been following along, opening up short positions are now pretty happy campers, I'm sure. Don't forget to follow that rule of karma, guys. The channel's counting on you. But as far as Monday, so I would probably have lightened up a little bit of my position right here at this X, if not sold all of it. Probably not all of it, but I probably would have lightened up my position or taken profits and like repositioned my short position around this X, which is right about here. Was that 12 o'clock? Just a little bit after 12, right? And then we have the strength card, completion of a rally, failure, and now we're like stuck within a range. Hey, deduct. So I went and I looked into like the beginning of next week a little bit more detail, and I found some cross-read incongruencies to put us on track as far as the sequence of events, the timing of the sequence of events. And it's interesting what I found here on the 16th. There wasn't much going on the 16th, but there's this cross-read incongruency from the preview card here, so probably a notable breakout there towards the end of the day. But then we get the Hermit card on the 17th. The Hermit card appears on the 16th on the 1 month. It's in a prominent position. This is also pretty close to the Satiety card, but we have the Satiety card appear on the 18th. On the 1 year, it appears on the 17th. So we're following the sequence of events. We also have the Emperor card there. Emperor card is next. Sometimes they kind of like stack on top of each other. But by the 18th, we're right back on as far as sequence of events. So this weekend, I expect a notable drop, like I said, but I wouldn't put everything I got into this position. I'm sure it's pretty tempting to like go all in on a short position over the before this weekend. Guys, do not do that. Be a responsible investor. A responsible trader will make money more frequently. It'll be smaller amounts, but it'll be way more frequently. So remember that. Don't be that noob fool who goes all in because they hear about some black swan. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Open a short position if you don't have one. Hold your short position if you have one. And then on Monday, if we do have a higher price level, rather than a drop, if we have a higher price level, I would then add to that short position just to be careful, right? If we're wrong and we open higher. I mean, I titled the 11th, the live stream on the 11th was titled, it started out something like, looks like a top. And there you go, guys. You know, I also called this top all the way back here. For those of you that are new, this right here, at the end of 2021, I pretty much announced on one of the lives this would be the last opportunity before a major decline, like an extended major decline. And you can see that went through like almost an entire year. Pretty much. Okay. And so you know how I was like a little thrown off here on the 6? I was like, I expect highs, but I'm a little weary because we've got this coin here. Look what happened, guys. We had a low and a high. The human mind likes to make things either or, black or white, yes or no, 0 or 1. That's not the way infinity works, my friends. So when you have impressions, if you're working on psychic development and you have impressions and they're like contradictory impressions, don't sit there and be like, oh my god, which one's right, which one's wrong. Find a way to like reconcile the two, put them together into one solution. It's an and. 90% of the time it's an and rather than an either or. Hey, Robert. Oh, I'll check my email. I didn't look. Hey, AV. So if you're just hopping on, guys, I was just saying, look, there's very likely a black swan over the weekend. It might have something to do with this, like, jihad day. I mean, my God, man. What is the world coming to? But in any case, I think it has something to do with Russia. That's what I was picking up on. And in any case, don't be that noob that goes all in on a short position, on some like crazy risky short position, and like expecting to make like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Don't do that, guys. Like, we can be wrong. It happens. Right? So, and it almost always happens that one time when you're like, I'm certain I'm going to throw it all in. It's almost always that time that you're wrong. So have a short position, but have some reserves set aside in case on Monday we open at a higher price level, right? So we revisited a crest here that was recently a past opportunity, right? Right at the beginning of the day, in the midst of erratic behavior. It was a nullified erratic behavior. Oh, heck yeah. Hey, Tabraze, Heil, do you reckon we take short here and keep it for Monday, Tuesday? We have lunar eclipse, and usually it gives a drop. Yeah, I mean, I would be short over the weekend. I wouldn't, like, it's really tempting to, like, go all in on a short position here. I wouldn't do that. I would open up, like, a normal short position, have some reserves set aside for Monday. Like I said, in case we open at like a higher price level here, because that could be what this abundance card is indicating. And then we have this strong cross-reading congruency at the end of the day with like a big breakout on a one-day chart. Although I don't think that that's going to hold based on the Tower card trade opportunity at the end of the day. Right? So like the drop on the 1 month is here over the weekend, but if you weren't on at the very beginning of this, I went in and I looked at the beginning of this week, and we've got some cross-reading congruencies. So the Hermit card, which is here on the 16th on the 1 month, appears towards the end of the day on the dailies on the 17th. And then the following day, the Satiety card appears towards the end of the day on the 18th. The Satiety card appears on the 17th. So we're in the same sequence of events, but we're off a day moving into the beginning of next week, and then on the 18th we reconcile. We end up with the Emperor card appearing on the same day that the Satiety card appears. My point being is that it could mean that we have a little bit of a crest there. I don't think so, but what I would do is I'd have some reserves set aside just in case. Right? And if this ends up being like a high at the beginning of the day, I would probably short that, but I think this is probably going to end up being like a bullish day out of a significant low. Sorry, guys. That we do, my friend. That we do, Robert. We do need to stick together. And definitely, God loves everybody. 100%. Hey, Joe. So my expectation, like I said, is that we open with a significant gap down, or like a big drop right in the beginning, or of the day, or both. There's probably a bit of a day trade in here when we're rotating sideways around roughly 1 to 2, revisiting a support level that was a past opportunity. There's a sharp drop in that period of sideways rotation, and you could probably open up a long position for a scalp there, closing it at the end of the day, or after this notable breakout here. But overall, I'd want to be in a short position. That would be like a day trade. Probably cash out of the short position there, or readjust, open a short position at the end of the day there. We've got that Fool card again in the morning. Interesting. Does SPY go below 424? Does the SPY go below 425 on Monday? Yes or no? I got a yes. It might be at the end. It might be at the end of the day, actually. So there could be like a full retracement back to a low at the end of the day. They're hard to say. I think there might actually be a retracement back to a low there. So when you have this breakout for that long scalp, you'd want to close it when you see that breakout mid afternoon. Is November bullish? When's the best time to get out of puts on Monday? So I would say if we open with a big gap down on Monday morning, I would take my profits right there at like first thing in the midst of that decline. I wouldn't wait. I would take them. You might be leaving some on the table. You might not be, but it's a short position for a reason. You can always put on another short position. You can always put on another position, but you can't always take profits. So you take profits when you can. And then I would probably be looking to put on another short position like towards the end of the day in the midst of this breakout. The princess at the end of the day does indicate a cash out opportunity, so it may be that we end up in a lower price level here. Oh wow, yeah, and the abundance card is correlated to first thing in the morning. Interesting. If we open up at a high here, I would definitely double down on my short position first thing in the morning. If I'm wrong and we open at a high, I would double down. But if I'm right and we have a big gap down, I'd take profits there. Is November bullish for SPY? As you mentioned yesterday, you see a low in December too, rather than a high. So, FYI, guys, if you're on our free mailing list on our website, Tarot for Traders, which you can sign up for the free mailing list on our homepage, scroll down to the bottom, right here at the very bottom. Just put in your email, and it signs you up for a free mailing list. You get the S&P 500 monthly email to you within the first few days of the month. So we're gonna take a look at November, but if you're on the mailing list, you've already got this. This doesn't actually come out publicly until the 21st of the month. It's really mixed. November's looking really mixed, but overall I think it's probably to the downside. Yeah, and I mean, we go into Mercury retrograde again at the very end of November, so it would make sense that we would see a lot of volatility there as we enter into December. Hey, appreciate it. It was luck. Lowest lows in tech stocks this coming week. Yeah, it looks like probably towards the end of the day on the 17th. And then we probably revisit it at the beginning of the following week. Or maybe even at the end of the end of next week again. That's Tesla. It might be a lowest low on the end of the day on Monday for Amazon. But it looks like there's probably a lower low mid the following week, like around the 25th, probably 23rd or the 25th. Will SPY have a lower low in October than, or in November than in October? That's what I was trying to figure out. And there is a good possibility that it is, guys. I think what this Ace of Discs is actually talking about is a decline into the end of the year. But it's a little mixed in November, but that's what I think this Ace of Discs is really talking about, a decline all the way into the end of the year. It's my sense, my feeling. I do sector readings, yes. Which sector will bottom first? I'd have to do quite a few readings to be able to determine that. Well, yeah, I'd have to do quite a few readings to determine that one, Deduct. Hey, Karthikeyan. Hey, thank you, thank you, Deduct. Appreciate it. Netflix next week. Oops, took the wrong one. When does their earnings come out, Karthikeyan? When does Netflix earnings come out? Be the earnings result for the next earnings result for Netflix. I'm not sure if I have an earnings definition for the Night of Discs. I feel like I don't on here. Oh, yeah, beats expectations with a bullish reaction. It looks like we have lowest lows next week. It's possible that we even go into a high at the end of the like at the end of the day on the 27th. It's either indicating a high on the 27th or a high in the following month of November. I think it's November, but there is some possibility of it being there on the 27th. A lot of price change on the 17th. It looks like we probably see the bottom, a lower low, a lower lowest low, like a lowest low thus far and then a lowest low thus far. Either that or we test the same bottom a couple times here. Or maybe even 3 times, somewhere between the 17th and the 19th. Well, you learn something new every day, Deduct. Appreciate it. You're welcome, AV. Will a potential black swan take place on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday? I'm going to throw Monday in there too. Was a little unclear that way. I'm going to try a different way. Leaning towards today. Based on that, but it was unclear, so I'm going to try another way and see what happens. I'm picking up on another black swan between here, guys. December 21st, and this is another one between December 21st and January 20th. Yeah, it's a little unclear as far as the date. But I did pick up on something going on in the end of December. How will oil react to this black swan event? Trend direction wise? Rest of October. Oil rest of October. There's a lot of price movement, and it looks like we probably go south and then north after that. Like out of a scary decline, there's a big move to the upside for oil. And I think there's a good chance that we do go lower in December. Somebody else was asking that. Does SPY go lower in December than it did in October? It looks like it goes to the same low. I don't think we see 380. I don't think we see 380, FYI. Karthikeyan, did you say the 18th in regard to when the Black Swan event happens? Did you get that from somebody else, like an astrologer or another psychic, say something about the 18th? I'm just curious, because when I look at the reading, we're off by a day until the 18th. So it may be that the drop's like a day later than we expect, which is why I'm saying don't put all your money into a short position here. I would have a short position going into the weekend for sure. I would stay away from out of the money options. I'd stay away from like a huge position. Just have a normal position, short position, with some reserves set aside in case we go higher on Monday. If we go higher on Monday, then add to the short position. Oh, Netflix earning date is the 18th. Got you. Yeah, it looks like there's kind of like a bottoming out somewhere around the 18th, 19th, maybe the 19th, but somewhere around the 18th, 19th. Might revisit it here on Monday, but there's a bottoming out there in Netflix around that earnings report. Well, SQQQ hit 30 in October. Oh, that's some move. So, guys, if you're unfamiliar with SQQQ, this is what you call an inverse leveraged ETF. So, what it does is it tracks the behavior of the S&P 500 inversely. It does the opposite of what the S&P 500 does, but it does it like on a scale of like 3-to-1 because it's leveraged. So this is a way to play a open a short position without getting into options. It doesn't mean it's super safe. You want to be very careful about leveraged ETFs, especially short, like inverse ones, short side ETFs, right? Ultra Pro Short QQQ. Reason being is because they have over time they're built to depreciate over time. You see, the chances of it ever being up here are like pretty much zilch ever being there again. What it's gonna do is you'll see spikes along the way. But you see what I mean? You don't want to be in a short. You don't. This is the type of thing that you might hold overnight for one night, but this isn't something that you hold overnight multiple nights. Just to be clear, this is something you utilize for like an imminent move. Well, it hit 30 in October. I don't know why it says like 200,000 on here. Something wrong with the chart. Yes or no? Will SQQQ hit $30 in October? I got a no for that, AV. Tower 16th and 18th. Are you saying that's what you got on your own reading, Robert? All right, guys, so I'm going to just recap. Very tempting to open up like a massive short position here, guys. Remember, it's the tortoise beat the hare. Slow and steady wins the race. That holds especially true when trading. Slow and steady wins the race. So open up a responsible short position here. Don't go crazy on it, and have some reserves set aside, so that if we do open higher, or we end up at a higher price at the end of the day, maybe, then I would open up more of a short position. But my sense is that we probably have a significant gap down. I would close a short position there and look to open another one probably at the end of the day. There's also a long scalp trade in here when we revisit support with sideways rotation around 1 o'clock, maybe a little later. You could open up a long position for a scalp. There'll be a notable breakout on a one-day chart. I would hold that long position until I see that breakout, and when we have that breakout, I would exit out of that for a scalp scalp day trade. Scalp, if you're unfamiliar with the word scalp, guys, scalp means it's really, really quick. You're looking to take advantage of like short-term momentum. So there's like a big move all of a sudden. You get in and out while it's still moving. While that move is happening. You don't get in before the move, you don't get out after the move. You get in and out while the move is happening. That's what a scalp is. Will SQQ hit $27 in October or November? I got a yes for that. And I got a yes in both. That's a big move. It seems these October lows may not be good buying opportunities if December has lows, unless November's super bullish. Well, November's is mixed. There's definitely some bullish energy there in the beginning of November, and there's even bullish energy like around the cusp of November, December. And that's why this last month of the year is a little tricky, because the Ace of Swords in a lot of cases will indicate a highest high. Even if it's in a low significator position, it could still indicate that on the scale of a 1 year. It's too broad. So there's probably a rally into a peak or crest here around the cusp of November, December, before this notable decline. And then I think January will probably end up being pretty bullish. Yeah, see, January is super bullish towards the end of January. And that's another cross-reading congruency there. The Aeon card is when we push the upper end of a range higher. I could be dead-ass wrong about this being a low, guys. I could be as originally expected, where we have a high here at the end of the year. But there's definitely going to be a trough. There's definitely going to be a peak. So I would probably, in the midst of the lows, open a little bit of a long position. I wouldn't go all in. I'd wait for more opportunities later down the road, but I'd probably get into some long positions in the midst of the decline, the October lows. Depends on the stock, you know. All right, guys, so with that said, I'm going to roll. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, as always, for your support. Guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure to follow the Rule of Karma. There's going to be a lot of money made, probably a lot of money made today. There should be a lot of money made on Monday and Tuesday. Please make sure to follow the Rule of Karma. It's super important for the channel's survival. You do that here on the Resources tab. 5% of the profits should be donated forward to one of these charities. 5% of the profits should be donated back to the channel. It leaves you at 90% of the money. Make sure to spend that money out of love. As long as you do that, you're an angel investor of the channel, my friend, and the universe will send it back to you tenfold. I was going to say something else, but I forget what it was. Yeah, I heard about this Schmidt 7-year cycle, actually, a few months back. They were talking about it. Interesting. So something on October 18th. All right, my friends, I'm going to roll. Thank you so